Hello, YouTube. I just want to make a video talking a little bit about respect and manners. It seems that we've lost a lot of those things over the last, well, who knows, but at least in the last generation since I was around, and I know I'm not that old, but um, certainly I've seen some things in my short time on this earth that are a little bit aggravating. Um, I got a little story I'm gonna throw in here that's something that happened to us today. But let's just talk about some of the things that are just really annoying. It's way late in the game. This riding around in your car, windows rolled down, blaring your music to the point where your speakers are distorting. Uh, that really wasn't even that cool 20 years ago when it first started being a little bit popular. I'm talking about the big subwoofers and woofers. Um, but it's well run its time. And, you know, play it as loud as you want, but roll your stupid windows up. That's one thing. The other thing, this is really more disturbing. When I was growing up, I mean, you hang around your friends, even as teenagers, and this isn't just exclusively ragging on the younger generation because what I'm going to get into even comes into people that are my age and above. We use foul language amongst each other. Say you're at you know, a beach with your friends, nobody else around, or, you're walking down the street with your friends and, you know. But what I find today is people have no awareness, or they do and they just haven't been brought up, or they just don't have any respect for the people who are around them. Um, you're in a grocery store with your family and your kids, and you know you can hear different people using foul language like it's an everyday thing, like it's something normal. Malls, and it is more prevalent with the younger kids, but I've even seen older people do it. So yeah, it's very annoying. I remember being at a ball game probably 7 8 years ago, and two people cursing at each other with kids all around. I mean, families, and just dropping f bombs, and I'm like, do these people know? Do these people have any idea, or do they even care? Or they're fine with being the way they are? That people, and let me yeah, that's I think even more annoying than the music is just the foul language that people use today in public places. I use foul language with my coworkers. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I don't. But I also know that if I go into any restaurant, it doesn't have to be a fine restaurant. If I go into a McDonald's, that I know how to control my language and you don't hear me cursing. I can do it on these videos quite easily. I don't need to drop F bombs to get my point across. It's just unnecessary waste of time. Certainly, cursing has, people will say, well, cursing puts an exclamation point on certain things. I'm sure, and that's fine. But to do it in public places, in front of families, in front of kids, is just really unnecessary, and to me shows a lack of intelligence. So here's my story. My wife wanted to have a yard sale, so she wanted to get some money, send some money back home. And so, we don't have a lot of things to get rid of. We're not that well off. But she scraped together some things to sell. And she went out and got a permit from the police department, because you have to have a permit. And I went and spent $18 on yard sale signs and stakes and staples and put them up. And we proceeded to get our things out onto the yard sale. Now, this is where, anybody watching this video, and I don't think my subscribers, I want to say I don't know them, but I don't think they'd be like this, but um, this is a no-no. If you don't want to be looked upon, here's some things. If you don't want people to look at you like you're less than them, don't curse in public. The music, but definitely don't curse in public. If you don't want people to say, ah, look at this white trash, don't curse in public. And here's another thing you don't do. You don't assume that everything's okay without asking. This neighbor of ours, and he's a renter, thank God, because that means that there's a chance that he and his girl and, I don't know, daughter or kid, I don't know, will probably move one day. We didn't even get our stuff completely out yet, and they start bringing stuff out of their house and setting up their own yard sale. And all they basically said was, oh, we saw you're having a yard sale, so, we decided to bring some stuff out. Didn't say, hey, do you mind if we bring some things, since you're having a yard sale? Didn't say, can I help you pay for the trouble you went through? First of all, they didn't have a permit, so, all I would have to do is actually drop a dime, but I didn't. So that was one thing. And me and my wife talking, I said, that is just so rude, and totally made me just look down upon these people. The next thing, which is damn near floored me, because that's when I knew they really didn't think anything was wrong with it. The guy is getting in his car, he backs up, rolls down his window, and says, hey, I gotta make a run. Do you mind if somebody comes to tell him that we'll be right back? Can you believe it? I was floored. I was like, ha, yeah, all right. Could not believe it that he had the stones to come back and actually do that, to actually ask us to mind his store that's not even supposed to be there. And the other part of this was, they're bringing out like the works. I mean, I don't know where they stored all this stuff. They had 5 bison. We had a little bit of stuff, really nice stuff. I mean, we sold some stuff, and I'm sure we'll sell more tomorrow. Really, but not a lot. These guys had like 5 bicycles, a guitar. I mean, just 3 times the size of what we're selling. And not to mention they're one house closer to where people make the turn. So they're the first one they see. I mean, it was just really, I couldn't believe it. And, the guy not wearing a shirt didn't help me look at him any better either. Yeah, so if you don't want people to look down upon you, first of all, wear a shirt when you're outside. For the guys, be polite and ask, and don't assume, because if the guy just would have asked me, we probably would have not had a problem with it. And don't curse in public. And I guess that's my public service announcement.